A timeout follows that first down catch, and the Steelers have it at the 14 with 24 seconds left in the half. They could be taking a lead here. Steelers are going to come out in trips. Trips right, including their tight end, single back. Drop back to pass. Looks like a trail. And that's going to be complete to Ebron. Down to the one, hurry up, and they spike the ball. Interesting choice here. 9 seconds. They still do have a timeout. They really want to make sure Buffalo does not get a chance to put any points up, regardless of what happens with this drive here. Steelers coming out in goal line. I think everybody in the building knows what's coming here. We'll see if the Bills can stop it. And they can't. It's Najee Harris right behind the center for a touchdown. And the Steelers are going to take a 20-14 lead, PAT pending. Great run from the rookie, and that's another touchdown in his pro debut here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I can only imagine an incredibly bright future for this player, and probably going to be an X factor by the end of the year if I had to guess. PAT is good. Steelers take a 21-14 lead, and they're going to kick off here before the end of the first half.
All right, so after having to shut the stream down and move it from Twitch to YouTube, waiting to hear if that is working or not. Looks like we do have at least one viewer on the YouTube that can see the video. Not quite sure what happened with Twitch, but YouTube might be the home.
Well, welcome to YouTube here, folks. We just saw a kickoff by the Steelers. It's probably going to be a kneel down or one quick play before the end of the first half. If you're just catching up, the Steelers secondary, led by Terrell Edmunds, has been making quite the impact on the game. They've intercepted Josh Allen 3 times already today, and it's just the first half. And the most recent interception set them up for a touchdown drive to give them a 7-point lead. And with that Devin Singletary run, we're going to get the halftime here and get going to start the third.
Absolutely. And I will say real quick, joining us, we do have a special guest coming. It's going to be Keegan Gallagher to talk to about his week 1 win over the Texans, Jacksonville owner. How are we doing, Keegan?
Hey, how's the head coach at T-Law? You saw a great performance out of the rookie there and really put the hurting on the Texans, who don't have much to say in the way of talent currently. So what do you think of your quarterback?
Maybe he's not actually with us.
I can hear you, Keegan, but maybe Zach can't.
Oh, strange. Well, you can do the interview then. We'll let you have it.
I know we had talked earlier, and you have another rookie on that offense, and Travis Etienne, somebody with some great pass catching ability as well as being able to carry the rock. What was his performance like? Yeah, it was a big win over the Texans, but sometimes when that run game's not working, it'll get you in a hurry and in a hole in a hurry, and then you're looking up and trying to come back, and you really don't want to have to air it out with that rookie QB. two scores by the defense. I don't. Yeah, you're not going to get 14 points out of the defensive unit every week, but how about Josh Allen? Any sacks for the young pass rusher? Well, speaking of Watson and the Texans, nobody had a better seat than you to the game. What can we expect out of that team this year? Who's going to be their lead receiver? I'd imagine Brandon Cooks. Yeah, not much to look at, and you can't even lean on a bright future like some franchises, like the Jets up in New York. They at least have draft capital to look at and put them to sleep at night. If you're looking at the Houston Texans, it's a tough road ahead. They've got a lot of veteran players, and speaking of Philip Lindsay out of the backfield, it's interesting that that's the lead dog when you have Mark Ingram and David Johnson, both running backs with some chops in their own right, pass catching and running. Houston's probably just going to do whatever they can. Yeah, you feel bad for Watts, and yeah, I mean the front office is never going to get rid of a player of that caliber, but right now he just doesn't have much around him, and he'll probably be running for his life and making whatever throw he can. Who's your prediction for the AFC South this year? I already want to know in the division. That's a good start. I think the Titans would probably be a popular choice amongst the league, as Sean is a proven winner in the regular and postseason. And with a running back like Derrick Henry and receivers of Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, that's going to be a tough machine to stop.
The Bills force a punt on the opening possession to get the ball back and try and get back into this game. If you, obviously, I can't hear Keegan on the other end, but has Keegan been watching the game at all and have any input on what he's seeing?
He's, yeah, he said it's a lot of back and forth, and I agree with him. We've been seeing some big defensive plays. Um, we saw points early on and some well put together drives, but as of late, we've seen splash plays in the secondary for both teams. Looks like the Bills are going to come out in a shotgun, but still keep a moderately heavy set with two tight ends. Devin Singletary is going to get the carry again on 2nd and 7. Make it a 3rd and 3. That's a nice, short, and manageable situation for this Bills offense. All you can ask for. All right, thanks for joining our broadcast, and best of luck to you and the Jags this season in developing that young roster. Thanks. That was Keegan Gallagher again, head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Gonna look to turn T-Law into the god and maybe see if Travis Etienne can be a solid running back in the process himself.
do believe that was the first time we've seen Diggs come up with one this late in the game. It could be a good sign for the run stretch here.
Yeah, a nice big run here from Singletary too, and it looks like Stephon too. It's getting up slow for the Steelers. Boy, would that be a major loss to lose Highsmith and Tuitt in week one if it's anything significant. Diggs being held to one catch until the third quarter, that is something that you're a little bit surprised by, and a guy who usually can take over a game.
Looks like Tuitt can return this game at least, so that's good. Back-to-back big runs. I think the two biggest runs of the day for the Bills, so that's good timing.
Yeah, they're finding some room on the ground here. They're not giving up. They're not going to be made one-dimensional. I think this is a team that can pass if that's all they want to do, but I respect them trying to keep it balanced. And I think they'll find that that's going to make them a much more powerful offense when teams got to respect the air and the ground. And as we see there, a play action pass, and Diggs is going to get a second catch of the drive and the game to take the Bills down to the one.
That was a hell of a one-handed grab. We see how this result works out. I'm going to pull that replay back up and show it to you in slow-mo, but what a grab by Diggs on the corner.
I will get a little carry here out of shotgun, and Matt Breida is going to score for the Bills. You mentioned Matt Breida earlier is probably eventually moving to the lead dog in this backfield. He's been getting some carry this drive, looking good, and punches one in to tie up the game for the Bills.
Again, just pulled that Diggs replay up. What a catch. Unreal.
The display of the hands, awareness, the footwork. He's just an elite wide receiver who's really at the top of his game right now in the prime of his career. Hard to imagine the Minnesota Vikings letting this man go.
You know they got to be kicking themselves, but I mean they've got two good studs in Thielen and Jefferson themselves, so I guess it's hard to argue with the results at the same time.
Yeah, through about 20 games of his career, Justin Jefferson looks to be one of the better picks in recent years and an explosive wide receiver. You just hope that things can keep up there and that they continue to get good quarterback play, or that young man's career might be a touch wasted. It could be wild to possibly think about had Stephon Diggs stayed there and they had that trio of Thielen, Diggs, and Jefferson, but they likely wouldn't have made that draft pick had he re-signed.
Exactly, and I think that was the first pure pass rush sack, not a coverage sack or anything like that for the Bills defense. Getting their home in 3 seconds, that's a pretty quick pass rush from the inside.
Yeah, and that's big, especially when you're facing an inexperienced quarterback like Haskins. A lot of the game is still coming to him. He's still learning a lot of the more intricate parts of the offense. So when you can get him rattled, get inside his face there and make him feel the pressure, it's going to do a lot for your defense. But he comes right back the next play with a solid throw to Chase Claypool. And they're going to back that up with the first down formula that's worked all game, and that's Najee Harris on the ground. He picks up 6 more. This man can't be stopped.
No, you almost have to commit more to the box, but then you have such speed and skill on the outside, and you get burnt out there. It's a no-win situation for the Bills defense, but I think they're doing a pretty good job overall.
Yeah, they're managing this well. They did not get rattled by giving up the lead going into the half. And it's tough when the Steelers are going to spread you out wide with that wide receiver depth we discussed earlier, and then still gash you with runs in the box. It leaves you wondering what personnel, what package, and what play call do I want to go with. You got to try to cover all your bases in this situation. So this is right where the Steelers want to be, making you think about the run and the pass. An interesting play there on 3rd and 2. We'll see what the looks like pass interference according to the referees, so that'll be a first down Steelers.
And that looks like it's the second. That's the second pass interference of the day on the Steelers. I'm sorry, on the Bills. Both on 3rd down. Those are key penalties you can't have.
No, on 3rd down, especially from one of your veteran defenders in Tre'Davious White, You'd like to have him have a little more presence of mind and not commit a penalty of that nature and get off the field. The aggression, though, not a surprise when we consider the interceptions we've seen so far today. These DBs are looking alive as Levi Wallace records his second pick of the game.
Yeah, it does seem like, especially on that was a ill advised throw. That was an almost triple coverage. I don't like that call at all. That's inexperience at its finest right there. You see
Yeah,
three blue shirts, one white. It's usually not going to work out in your favor.
yeah, when you're in that situation, you'd like to see Haskins throw away, probably live for another down. Levi Wallace, not even one of the first names you think of when you talk about this Bills defense and secondary, but he is having a heck of a day. And the Bills load up and go right for it with a deep pass to Diggs, who's coming alive in the third quarter here.
Absolutely nothing before now. Now 2 drives, 3 catches, almost 70 yards already. He's starting to wake up real quick.
Yeah, this could be a big issue for the Steelers if they don't have an answer for the superstar X factor. He can make his presence felt and score quickly and put the Bills in prime position.
And now we have a first down on the ground. Bills offense is waking up.
They have been committed to that ground game, and it has been kind to them as of late. They've been gashing the Steelers. I give them props for continuing to hand off. We see Singletary's in there now. I gotta wonder if Breida's gonna get some more work the way he was running earlier.
And you see all 10, I guess 9 guys engaged on blocks, receivers picking up safeties and corners to the outside. That's why you're picking up 8 yards on first down on the ground.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got the whole offense blocking for you like that, everybody picking up their assignment, coaches and teams preach all the time. They want receivers who can catch the ball and get open, but they better be able to lay a block too if they want to start on Sunday. And that's some good blocking there.
One of the older receiving cores in the league, when you think about it, Diggs is the youngest of the 3 starters, and he's high to mid 20s at this point. So it's not a lot of youth out there. So they know what their job is and they know how to accomplish staying on the field.
Yeah, and talking about the experience of the receiving core, Emmanuel Sanders, somebody who's been a bit of a hired gun as of late, playing for several teams over the last several years, but somebody who's always known how to pick up an offense. And this guy just knows how to get open. He finds soft spots in the defense, and he's not afraid to get nitty gritty and throw some blocks too. He plays his part in this offense.
Absolutely. It's kind of like 1A, 1B out of the slot between Sanders and Beasley. Very similar players.
Yeah, Beasley, a guy who's just really good on those quick routes. You think, uh, Julian Edelman-esque, maybe Wes Welker, somebody who wants to make a couple quick cuts and pick up a run through the air type of play. And Singletary with another great run here. The Bills are just rolling now. They seem to be calling whatever they feel like.
And prior to last, we mentioned he had 3 for -1. He now has 13 for 82. That's a 8 yard a carry clip since that -1 stat.
Yeah, really showing out here, and the Bills seemingly finding out that they don't need to drop back and air it out, that they can do it in different ways, and that includes a jet sweep to Stephon Diggs. They're just getting everyone involved now and clicking on all cylinders.
Absolutely. And there was Minka, met him in the hole and missed a tackle. I mean, that's one player we have not mentioned at all, and he's supposed to be the leader of this defense.
Yeah, Minka with a solid tackle, but not until after a 5 yard pickup. Second and goal from the 5 here for the Bills. Maybe Minka makes a play. This would be the time to do it. The Steelers have lived off the splash play so far.
Diggs again, another catch, but out at the 1. He just can't seem to find that goal line. He gets him right there, but third and goal at the 1 with 9 to go up. All the momentum is in Buffalo's favor too now. They've really taken over this game in the second half, especially the third quarter. They were all over him. The fourth quarter just now starting.
And Josh Allen's going to punch in on the QB sneak. I expect he'll have a few rushing touchdowns this year when you talk about his ability to get out of the pocket and move, and just a commanding drive by the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, you see the momentum really switching, and they are taking over the game. Despite only being up 7, it's still a good game. Steelers can make a comeback, but I like the way the Bills are rolling right now.
9 plays, I believe it was 79 yards, took a little over 4 minutes. So really just bleeding this game out and grabbing a hold of the momentum in the process. The Steelers are going to have a tough time coming out here, but they need points on this drive.
Methodical, just absolutely methodically down the field.
That based on the way that last drive went, it might serve them well to kill a little clock in the process here because the Bills are moving. Oh my goodness. And Tre'Davious White shows you why he's an X factor on the first play.
What a catch. Unbelievable. I'm going to key that one up for a replay on the next dead ball. Diving catch by White.
Yeah, I
One
mean,
coverage.
he looks like the receiver here.
It was cover 0-2. I mean, take your chances, but when you got a guy that good, why not?
And they're just going to feed Singletary, who's finding his way now. He's really chewing up the Steelers defense late.
Yeah, I mean he's finding the holes, but it's gonna be credited to that offensive line and the receivers. They're picking up anybody and everybody.
We see a little play action here from Allen. He's going to get out of the pocket. Little throw on the run into who else but Diggs. They have just no answer for Stephon Diggs in the second half right now. The coaching staff must have got together and drew up some plays to make him the featured player, and it is working.
That's coming out of the locker room. That's what you want to see, and that's a sign of a great coach.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice adjustment here for Josh Ashmore. Really responded after giving up that late score in the first half and has 14 unanswered for Buffalo and looking to make that 21. Just a good performance thus far, but not over yet. The Steelers can certainly make an impact on any given play.
Yeah, I mean you still have to finish a drive. You're inside the 10, but nothing's guaranteed against this defense.
Oh, it's as good as done now, though. Singletary puts it in. That's another 7 for the Bills. They're up by 14. There is time left, but we haven't seen the Steelers offense really be able to push the ball downfield thus far. This could be the type of situation that's more of a sink than a swim for Dwayne Haskins.
And I'm gonna show us how we got to that score here. The Tre'Davious White interceptions. Haskins is in the pistol, which is a weird formation to begin with. Quick slant. White jumps it. Diving interception. Ball's going the other way. Bills finish that drive with a touchdown.
And we talk about the aggression earlier from the Buffalo Bills secondary. Tre'Davious White got that crucial penalty on a third down, but that aggression serves him well here, and he jumps this beautifully.
So now you got the Steelers with 7 minutes left, down 14. You almost can't lean on Najee too much. I say that, and he comes out in a ground game, picks up a quick 6.
Yeah, he picks up quick 6, like you said. The defense is probably looking for primarily pass. You get away with one there, but then they immediately take advantage of an
Oh.
aggressive defense on a screen.
And Milano had a key on the ball too, and just barely overran the play. Went from what could have been an easy loss to a huge gain out of the backfield from Najee.
Yeah, that is a huge play for the Steelers. That we talk about them not attacking downfield, but they find a way to keep it short and manageable for Haskins, but still move it quickly. If they can score in the next 2 minutes or here, they've got a real chance to get a stop and tie this game up. Oh,
Going for it all.
yeah, Haskins living on a prayer there. I'm not sure what he really saw. He didn't have the one-on-one look. That was a dangerous throw that he gets away with.
Absolutely. It looked like that was the receiver playing defense versus the defender playing defense in that regard. Live to die, live to survive another day.
Yeah, we get away with one here. I'm sure in practice next week the coaches are going to be talking with Haskins about throwing the ball away, giving his team an opportunity to make another play. And they go to the run again. They get to a third and medium. It's interesting that they want to keep the clock running like this, but if it results in a score, we'll see.
Still 6 minutes left. I feel like you can score within the next minute or so. You still have plenty of time. You just need one stop to then tie the game up. But I do agree there is need to be maybe a little bit more urgency in the offense.
Yeah, you would definitely like to see a sense of urgency here. Maybe something that's a result of the, oh my God, and it's a fumble by Haskins on the sack, but it's picked up by Harris, and they're going to get away with another one here. It's 4th and 8, and the Steelers are going to have to go for this, but Haskins is just, he's got a horseshoe, you know where right now, folks. He's getting away with turnovers.
Absolutely, yeah. He's surviving by the skin of his teeth, as they like to say. And Najee bails him out there. Big fourth down. This is probably your ball game right here.
Yeah, must pass situation. This is where the Bills are built to survive. We'll see what happens. And Eric Ebron just smokes the defensive back on a brilliant out route. First down and stops the clock. Just an excellent throw by Haskins here in a must-have situation.
Just to update, the clock did not stop on that, so it is rolling still.
Oh, we do have a running clock. Looks like the Steelers wasted no time getting another play, and they will stop it this time here. Right back to Ebron, 5-yard pickup. So the Steelers are still looking good, and I agree with you. There is enough time to get this going. My fear is that they have not been able to stop Buffalo this second half. So they're going to need a complete overhaul on defense if they have a chance to tie this up.
Yeah, the Buffalo offense has looked elite in this second half. No answer for anybody so far. But they got to worry about this side of the football right now, and then that
Oh,
side.
oh boy, brilliant throw here, Dwayne Haskins. I mean, you talk about now here's a guy who just has confidence through the roof. He's a young man at the quarterback position, and sometimes you've got to trust your arm talent when it might not be the best decision. Tre'Davious White picks him off earlier, and he goes right back at the all-pro corner and throws a big touchdown to Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, just under 4 minutes ago, all three timeouts, still the 2 minute warning. There's plenty of time to get the ball back. It's just a matter of actually making a stop defensively in this half.
These are just big plays left and right by the Steelers. Every time you think you might have them down, you don't have them out, and they're just still fighting. You have to think if they can limit mistakes in future weeks, that they'll be a really tough team to beat the way the Bills are struggling. And that's a run on first down for the Bills. That's going to lose 2 yards. So some of what we saw in the first half there, if you're the Steelers, that's exactly what you want. You want to get the Bills behind the sticks, maybe stop the clock with an incompletion or two and save your timeouts. This is a good situation.
Yeah, perfect play call on the defensive side. They ran right into the blitz. Josh Allen
Josh Allen's going to
retreating.
throw this
Yep, throws
away.
away. Good decision by the quarterback.
Oh, and that's even more of a clutch call here. The referees are going to go the Steelers' way, and they're calling a hold on the Bills. Stop the clock. You put them in a deep must-pass situation. This is tough for Buffalo.
They got three wide out with a tight end in tight. Throws he out, but he steps out of bounds. That's tough.
Yeah, yeah, that's really tough, especially when you're only picking up a handful of yards. If you're going to throw, you kind of wanted a chunk play here to make it third and manageable. The fact that the clock is stopped now, you almost wish you would have called a running play just to force either a timeout usage or get some clock bleeding here. And that's just a massive play by Stephon Tuitt as Kalichi Asemele is down after the play. On third and long, Josh Allen has it swatted back in his face, and the Bills are going to punt.
Yeah, pass rush got home that time finally. Free agent pickup. You have to wonder, is that injury due to lack of camp or lack of reps in camp or anything along those lines?
That's a good point, Zach. You would think they give him a physical before he comes in, but they do say playing the game is a whole other type of in shape. So I'm thinking Asemele came in shape, but was not in football shape. That could be part of the reason we see a penalty early on. We see an injury here. Both of those could be fatigue and just mental mistakes.
Absolutely. So here is your you gotta come up on the defensive side of the ball if you're the Bills now. Up 7, 2:52 to go.
Yeah, they've let Haskins really spin early on here. Let's see what they do on the final drive. And it's going to be a check down to Najee, who's really been the lifeblood of this offense, and he picks up a first down.
Oh, and we have a abdominal tear. He's gonna be out long term there for Assembly.
That is tough news for the Buffalo Bills. You pick up a player who you think really bolsters your line, and you're going to lose them for what I would imagine is 4 to 5 weeks, possibly longer.
So that's gonna get us to 2-minute warning with a great defensive 1-yard hold on a run play. It's been shredding them all day. So Bills 35, Steelers 28. 2 minutes ago with the Steelers on the 45 of the offensive side. I don't think you could ask for much closer of a game here for our first featured game of the year.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a great featured game of the week. It's been back and forth. Really, right as each of these teams, you think the other has the one on the ropes. The other has just responded. They've come up with a big play. We thought the Steelers wouldn't have an answer for the Bills in the second half, and they managed to get a big stop and are now looking to drive and tie the game.
That's a great throw right there on the out. Keeps him in bounds though. The clock will continue to move. 34 from the goal though.
Yeah, clock will continue. I don't think the Steelers mind, though. They really don't want to give the Bills an opportunity to be able to drive for a game-winning field goal. So right now, they're sitting pretty with those 3 timeouts, and they can call a run play if they want. I know they favored that, but they're going to call a pass here, and that's a big sack by Jared Hughes.
Again, another massive, finally a pass rush one. I think we've only seen 2 of those pass rush, not a coverage sack. Just got in off the edge real quick. Surprisingly, just that stat just popped up. The Steelers have 0 sacks on the day.
Yeah, they've wreaked some havoc, forced some throws, I think, from Josh Allen, but no official sacks on the day, and really not many for the Bills. I do believe that was their first. And they've got some talent there when you think of Jared Hughes, who's a veteran. You've got Oliver, who's really coming on as a pass rusher in his own right in this league. So surprising with the patchwork offensive line of the Steelers that they haven't created more pressure.
Oh, what a play. Wallace again. Pick 6 earlier. That should do it there with they called the last time out last game. So looks like Buffalo's going to come out on top tonight.
Levi Wallace with just an absolute magnificent game today. I mean, he's got the hat trick. You rarely see those in the sport of football, but 3 interceptions, and that one couldn't have come at a better time for the Buffalo Bills. And they're going to get this home opener win and start 1-0. Something I think they needed, maybe a little less than the Steelers would have needed a 1-0 start here, but I think by all means they could take a lot out of this win to be, or this loss to be proud of, and move on and win some games later in the year.
Absolutely. So that'll do it for us tonight. Buffalo 35, Pittsburgh 28. Again, I wanted to thank Joe for joining me here tonight. I'm Zach. We plan on doing one of these every week if we can do it. So look forward to hosting more and have yourself a good night. Thanks for joining me, Joe.
No problem, Zach. Have a good night, folks.